Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to do another basics introduction somewhat to hand lettering, where we are going to take it step by step each week. Easy peasy for beginners, for everybody actually, not just if you're beginning, even if you've been practicing some. There's some what I think are some great tips that I'd like to share with you guys. So today is Sunday the 20th. FYI, my nephew is here, so if he pops up and starts talking, that would be why. He is very excited about filming these YouTubes. For some reason, he thinks I am a YouTube star. I have no idea why, but if he comes up, that you will hear him a little bit. And then there might be some shaking because I'm going to be like hand motioning kind of thing. So we did two plan with me's prior to this, and he did plan in his planner. He has an Avalon and 9th weeks planner, so he was planning in that some. But now he would like an Avalon, and he wants a B6, he said. So I'm gonna have to order him one of those. But last week we talked about just your basic printing and doing the downstrokes and the upstrokes. So we talked about that. And then showed some examples of how your hand lettering changes with practice. So definitely keep going on that. But today we are going to talk about, not only are going to identify the downstrokes, but we're also going to thicken them to get that faux calligraphy look. So the first word that we are going to start with is we are just going to start with the word planner, because that's how I came to this community. I started with hand lettering and then found planning and then found friends and then decided, let me do my own hand lettering. And then someone was like, hey, will you do that for my shop? I'll pay you in stickers. And I was like, of course. And then all of a sudden someone was like, you should do them in your own shop. And I was like, why not? And here we are. What is it? 6 years later? Yeah, 6 years later, and I'm doing it full time now, and I'm doing YouTube, and what the heck is going on? So we're going to do the word planner. So we're going to start with printing, because you can thicken the downstrokes and printing if you wanted to add some of this to your planner. Recently, I was approached by Day Designer, and I got a little message. I was like, hey, we like your style. We like your hand lettering. We'd love to send you a planner. And I was like, cool, sure, why not? And so last week in this planner, it's a great way, especially if you are like a pen only, to practice your hand lettering. This had a lot of room for checklists and then some bigger letters. So I'm definitely going to use this because I hand letter all of my designs on an iPad. So it's really nice to get back to pen and paper and just also make sure that I am still practicing, because one of the biggest parts of hand lettering is muscle memory. And that happens by practicing. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to roll. And remember, one of the tips last week was to slow your roll, slow down your hand lettering so that you think about each letter, because when we finally are connecting these together, picking up your pen between each stroke is one of the most crucial tips that I can give you, because it forces you to slow down and think about it when you are doing that calligraphy, faux calligraphy, or even if you are doing the traditional calligraphy, the ink and the nib, which I do not mess with. I am lucky that I can walk and chew gum at the same time, much less put a liquid ink near anything that I own. But so we are going to identify your downstrokes, and your downstrokes are just like they sound when you take your pen downward. And then your upstrokes are going to be, again, when you take your pen upward. So, and it can depend on, if you write your N like that, that would definitely be up and then down and then up again. Or if you do this way and then almost all, you've got your down, down, and then down. But there really is no actual rule. I mean, you do what you like to see. So let's just roll with this in, since there are two different ways that you can do it. So say that all of Oh, well, that one was up. Just kidding. I thought one was up. Wait, no, that's down too. No, down, down, down. Yeah, down. Okay, I was right. Okay, see, I'm questioning myself already. So if you wanted to thicken all of your downstrokes, and a good point that I can give you is always start thin, because you can always keep building onto your downstroke to make it thicker, as thick as you would like. But when you're doing pen to paper, you can't really ever take away. So I always suggest doing thin and then just beefing it up until you like what it looks like. Just slow. So there are no right way or down way. So say, and if you do your in like this, then your downstroke is only going to be right there and go back up. So it's completely up to you. So let's start out with this word planner. So we've got our downstroke. So we're going to thicken that up, and then we went down here. So we're going to thicken that some up. And then if we're doing planner, so then that part is going to be a little bit thicker. And then your A is up and down. So we're going to take it that way. And then we do, I personally, see that was all one stroke. So you're definitely going to go just down there if you want, or you can just do, you can literally just do the one side if you want. And then we've got our E, our downstroke, and then our R, downstroke, and then that was down. And then some people look at that as a downstroke because you come back up, but it's up to you on however you would like to do it. If this was me, then, I mean, and even if you wanted, you don't even have to, I mean, if you want to do a thicker upstroke, I mean, this is your handwriting. This is whatever you're doing, whether it be an invitation, or if you're doing just like a birthday card, or you're writing in your planner. I mean, it is all up to you on how you want it to look. These are definitely just tips on things to try, look for. They are not set in stone. They are not do or die kind of rules. So, and then also something else, like say, once you're getting the thickness, you can add a little serif to it. So if you wanted to get even a little bit fancier, you can add little serifs, which this is way too close. If you're going to do that, I always suggest doing each letter first, so then you can space it out correctly. Hear them, they're playing video games down there, so he will probably definitely not be coming back up here. So the Tipsy Dog Designs plan with me that I did for the last one for this week, he sang a little intro song that he wants me to use as my intro for my YouTube videos. So he's gonna he's got the words, but he's got to get the jingle down on the piano. So freaking cute. God, I love that kid. All right, so this is adding the serifs, and then if you wanted to, you could also do it with a little bounce if you wanted to. So say we were really adding some fanciness to it. You can just not, again, this is why I'm a big fan of the graph paper, especially the cheap graph paper. I mean, you do not have to spend, that was something that I covered in my first hand lettering video, is that you do not have to spend a lot of money on supplies. There are some people that love the Tombow brushes and that's what they use, and that is completely fine. I am very heavy-handed, so I definitely prefer the Crayola markers, these Papermate flares. I mean, I am not going to hide the fact that whenever I first started lettering, I went out and got all of the fancy stuff and found that I really just like the basics, the Papermate flares and like the Crayola markers, because I write so heavy that even if I do tear up the tips of the Crayola markers, I'm out like $1 or $2 because I stock up during back to school time. So, all right. So you can definitely even bounce the letters if you wanted to. Another way to kind of jazz up your handwriting is by doing an empty faux calligraphy. So that would be, and that's a style that I really like a lot. I use it in my planner a lot. I use it a lot in my stickers that I create for the shop. And it's just an empty, and that is just like the hollow, empty look. And if you wanted to, you could even go back and add some lines. You can do them all up and down. You could do the little half shaded block. You can do it diagonally. I mean, you can do it just at the top if you wanted to. You can color it all the way in like we were doing up there. I mean, you could put dots, which I didn't leave enough room for do dots down that one. But there are so many different ways that you can change up your hand lettering in your planner, your notes, invitations to give it some extra flair if you wanted to. So, but yeah, there is really no rhyme or reason to the downward strokes. I definitely, this mat, I love it, but man, I cannot pick up any. I also don't have very long nails, so there's that. You can even, if you wanted to, you could write out the alphabet and you could see which way that you like thickening your downstroke. So like I would start, of course, you would start with capital letters, and then you could do your lowercase letters, and you could do it again by thickening this side and thickening this side if you wanted to. And then for the A, you could thicken inside here and outside there. So, I mean, there's really no set rule. It's up to you to add or remove the downstrokes as you like. Like, please don't think that, oh my gosh, I did it wrong, because you don't. As long as you like it, that is all that matters. As long as you like it, that is all that matters. And this is just printing. And then, so when you are doing more of a cursive style, all right, so, and of course I did not pick up my pen strokes, so those last strokes, that is something that I have got to get used to again on pen and paper, is really taking my time to slow down as I go. So these videos are going to help me also get back to that pen and paper, because it is really easy on the iPad, because all you do is hit that back button and you can erase it and start over again. So, but yeah, you want the same concept, you know, thickening your downstrokes again, but also there is no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. So for this week, you know, practice your printing some, practice your cursive if you want to, practice the different styles. And like I said, the graph paper with the 3 hole punch, that way you can keep it in a binder. You can watch your progress. So definitely practice this. And then next week I will be back again with another video. And maybe, I don't know what we're going to do next week. We're going to do some more fun stuff though. But let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. If you like it, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.